Good morning on day 6 of the Cammino di San Benedetto. I've just left Rieti and I have to say the sections coming into the city and the sections coming out of the city are pretty horrible. It's just something you have to deal with when you're walking into urban areas, and I'm perfectly aware of that, but these ones were especially horrible. Very, very busy roads last night. Unfortunately, when I arrived, it was coinciding with school finishing, so that did not help. But very busy roads, very exposed, very fast traffic, and coming out of Rieti is basically the same. So I've just got to the point where I'm finally off the roads and onto a proper trail. So let's get going to Rocca Sinibalda. That's my destination for the day, 20 kilometres away. Basically a day of two halves, the first half being flat and the second half starting with what is described as a difficult uphill. And I've seen other hikers make comment about it's difficult but doable, and then sort of coasting along a ridge into Rocca Sinibalda. So let's take a closer look at the route. The hike from Rieti to Rocca Sinibalda was wet but beautiful. Starting out on busy roads and overgrown paths leaving Rieti, I soon found myself in the wide and majestic valley of the Turano River. Walking along the valley floor in the rain eventually brought me to the steep ascent to the handsome village of Belmonte and Sabina, where I was treated to some welcome trail magic. The rest of the day was on quiet roads and tracks, with the sun trying to break through the clouds, gently winding down to the stunning village of Rocca Sinibalda, where I waited for my hosts to take me to my accommodation for the night, a few kilometres away from the village. So this is the point where, after a day and a bit, the Via di Francesco and the Cammino di San Benedetto part ways. Francesco goes that way, Benedetto goes that way. Off we go. So for this first part of the walk, we're following the valley of the Turano River, which is one of the major sources of water, and historically has been one of the major sources of water, not only for this area but also for Rome. And later on, I believe that we're going to walk under one of the aqueducts that still provides the majority of water to the city of Rome from this area. So there we have the aqueduct to Rome that I mentioned. I think the Romans made them a little bit prettier, but it does the job. It gets water to Rome, that's what it's intended to do. I'm not sure it will last as long though. We've just got to the point where we start the ascent up to Belmonte and Sabina. So I had a bit of a pause, had some snacks, got myself a bit of energy, and I will definitely be using, as recommended in the guidebook, the hiking poles. Started raining again, we had a little bit of a pause in the rain, so we'll see how we go. I haven't read anyone talking about it being particularly muddy, but I have read people sort of saying, yes, it's steep, but it's not as steep as you probably think it is. Let's go and find out, and hopefully we'll have a rest at the top. That's the place where I have to call my host for tonight from. They're farmers, and they said they might be quite a long way away. So I need to call them, give them an arrival time, and then they will basically meet me in the village of... I've forgotten. Wherever I'm going tonight, and pick me up. So we made it. We're about 300 metres from the village of Belmonte, and I'm going to take a break and call my accommodation. To be honest, the hardest part about that section was actually the humidity. There are some steep sections, but there are also some pretty average and some flat sections. You just need to keep going. Today is phenomenally humid. As you can see, the sun is trying to come out, which is not helping the humidity levels. But onwards, and hopefully not too much more upwards. Just leaving Belmonte and Sabina, I just had one of those lovely Cammino moments. I was walking through the village and there was another hiker, so hello Esther if you're watching, from the Netherlands, and she was staying in a place here. So when the host came, she invited me in, I had a coffee, we sat there and chatted. I got to take my shoes off, let my socks dry out a bit and sat down. And it's just absolutely lovely, a beautiful looking place to stay as well, so do consider it. I'll put the details down below. But so one of the things that makes walking these kinds of hikes worthwhile, the people that you meet. You don't always meet someone, but when you do, it can be just fantastic. Okay, I need to put my waterproofs on because the rain is getting heavier, so let me do that. Since leaving Belmonte, we've been on a series of undulating roads and tracks. They're actually residential roads. There are houses to my left and right. And we're following, more or less, the ridgeline between the two valleys. We keep on getting these tantalising glimpses. The road itself, the path itself, here's one coming up. The path itself is actually quite enclosed. A green tunnel style effect, but overall it's just the most beautiful walk. The sun is going in. It also keeps on trying to rain, but I'm banking on not having too much heavy rain between now and Rocca Sinibalda, but that's just my wishful thinking, I suspect. Anyway, what a day, what a day. Absolutely fantastic hiking, even with the rain this morning. The views, the cliffs, the valley were just stupendous. And then my heart is singing in some woodland. It's the kind of thing that keeps me happy. So very lucky to be able to do this. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Please do like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow.